Okay, so today we're going to compare the three current kings of the portable scene. The Numark PT01 Scratch,
Reloop Spin,
Omni Reloop Spin, the Reloop Spin,
the Reloop
and the Omni from Headache Sound that's just come out. We did a little unbox video, but we thought we'd actually have a crackdown and compare all the features. So basically, the Numark were the first porties that come out, I think. I don't know how many years ago. They had the little ghetto USB model originally, and then they decided to come up with this clever scratch version that has the scratch switch, which is universally considered completely useless, so it's just an extra $100 cost that you've then got to rip it out and put a fader in, but that's cool. This Omni's just come out of Hong Kong. First unit's just shipped in the last couple of weeks, and they have basically stepped up feature-wise, like generational kind of change sort of stuff. So
influenced by this though in the shape. And
yeah, so the Numark's gone for a square shape, which the Omni's copied. The original Vestax Handy Tracks is quite clearly the design that Omni have decided to Reloop. I've got to get that in my head. So that's basically a handy track shape. So it's a longer rectangular shape, bigger in speaker, a bit more real estate for controls. We're finding with the compact thing, there's a few downsides to having so much stuff close together, but we can get into that. So let's take a look firstly at the Numark. So they ship stock with a plastic tone arm and cart. Where is it?
Are you saying Numark? Yeah.
The Numark here has the plastic, pretty crappy but does the job tone arm. You pretty much want to replace that. This one has been modded with a carbon fibre Jesse Dean tone arm with an autophone cart, which is rad.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah, but expensive. I mean, you know, this is not a hobby for the poor. We've also thrown a JD fader into this. The original USBs didn't have a fader at all, but considering that the original one that comes with is useless anyway, you're better off getting one of these in my opinion. They all have kind of stock plastic platters. These have been replaced with the Infinity platter. So that's a nice stable metal platter. It's amazing, best mod you can do frankly. The Omni ships with a metal platter, the Reloop comes with a plastic one.
Terrible.
Let's have a quick squeeze at it.
I'm gonna lose my scratch sound. But yeah.
So yeah, it's just plastic. It's not too bad, you can see quite a bit of give there that simply isn't here with the, but yeah.
I don't think I'm going to
so you just, it's just a case of a bit more muscle control and hand control and just keeping it tight. Which isn't a bad thing, but you know, better is better. My adapter, and the just to finish off the demonstration, that's the stock Omni platter, and it's just nice. The design's really good. They're all belt drive turnies, obviously. I think direct drive portables might be a bit insane.
It's like a baby 1200 platter.
Yeah, it's good. There's a tiny bit of give, but honestly, for out of the box, these are about 100 US, and there is a metal platter upgrade for the Reloop. I think it's $120 US, so you know, there's some coin.
What did you pay? What did this cost?
This was about, we're in Australia, so it's AUD, but I think it worked out to roughly $800 Australian in the end with the fader, cart, tone arm, and platter.
Probably buy a
and I love it. I love it.
Could buy a second-hand 1200 for that, couldn't you?
So this is Toby's Reloop. So all you've done is replace the fader.
Jesse Dean fader in there.
So the original stock fader was a mini, you know.
Stock faders are terrible. I don't.
It's not even just a piece of crap fader. But the modding scene's really what's driven the whole portable thing, as everybody watching this would obviously be aware.
I think it was like 10 centimeters before the sound cut in. And
yeah, right. Massive throw. We were using some of these portable faders for a while. They're okay, but they're just, you have to really secure them, and they're alright. But you know, it's obviously much better to have a. And Jesse Dean does really good faders, and
Jesse Dean fader is dope.
Yeah, great support.
Got
your Jesse. And then we also busted this little raid mixer out, which is awesome. And they're not even that expensive. I think they're 200 US, 300 Australian. It's great, but
less portable.
The future, you want to carry, you want everything on the go. So yeah. So the tone arms, we've gone over that. The Omni ships.
Tone arm on this is terrible.
Yeah, but it does the job. We found with the Numarks, just simply having a metal platter alone without the stock tone arm was actually fine. Like
it's very light though.
The stable platter is really the foundation of a good portable. Okay, so the faders that come with, so we've decided that's no good. We've taken it out.
Jesse Dean in there.
Jesse Dean, this is the contactless for the Numark. It has a very short throw and it cuts off on both sides. So if you're cutting and lean down, you can cut the sound off without realising. The other thing we've noticed is just the layout I'm always hitting my fingers on the edge of the unit here. Like,
I'm always catching on this little screw.
yeah, these screws as well. Whereas the Omni, it's just this flat design. There's nothing to hit, and they are quite nice faders out of the box. We've decided.
There's one thing on this, when you mod the fader on this, you can take your stock one out and put it over here.
Oh, so you got two actual
Then
faders.
you get a blend between the record and the USB, the
Bluetooth
input.
Yeah,
which
right.
is great because the Bluetooth input out of the box on this is a bit too quiet.
Yeah,
It gives you
right.
that blending functionality. So before that, it wasn't really that dope. So getting that crossfader gives you two benefits of, of a good cutoff and the blending.
Yeah, cool. And so the other thing is these two faders here. One is an up fade and the other is a cross fade. The Omni is sort of 0 to full volume, and you can swap them around with the fader button, so that becomes the up fade. So same thing over here, except weirdly
more of a blend. Yeah.
The full volume's in the middle, right, and then it goes on the other side. It cuts in really sharply, so it's a little weird.
Be a little too hectic.
And so the other thing is with these up fade designs is, as opposed to just a volume gain, even though that has a volume gain, the volume at the back here on the speaker is out of the way, so really it's just that. Problem is if you're cutting or bump it, you can just bump that and then all of a sudden you've lost half your volume. So we recommend just jamming some blue tack in there, and then that solves that little problem. But this one's weird because it can go either way.
I want to use it, yeah.
So that's unusual, but hey.
It's got to remember to go lift when I'm removing the scratch hand.
Okay, so one last thing. The Omni, which is brand new, has these magnetic contactless faders, and apparently the temperature you're in, so these are made in Hong Kong, we're in Australia, it's probably fairly similar temperature, but if you're in, like, I don't know, North Finland or something and it was -20 snowing, I have no idea how cold it is in Finland, but I imagine it is, maybe that's an issue. So if you set the faders back here, there's the feature, if you hold both of these down and press start, that resets and recalibrates the fader. So that's a pretty cool little feature. The Jesse Deans, you can physically adjust the cut-ins with screws, and I think,
get in here,
and it's possible to do it there too. Like they're moddable faders. As far as we know, this reset's the only option you have. But honestly, the cut on it's fine. Like we don't have any huge issues. There's no raging demand to rip the fader out and put something else in. But I'm sure somebody's going to, and I can't wait to see it. So that's the tonearm platter fader, the basic features. Start stop button. Okay, there is no start stop button on the Numarks, and
big four.
Once the record starts and you're cutting, there's no way to actually stop it playing.
We used to turn the power off.
Yeah,
didn't we?
and on the other one that cut-off's gone. Whereas you get a start stop button on
up
the
here. Yeah.
You live in a strange place. It's a little dinky guy, and this is a nice big smooth button here. It's great. It's just in a strange position, I think. So if you're cutting and want to do some cool, it's kind of, you got to throw your hand out of the way, the needle's here.
I just reckon I've adjusted now to use my hand.
Yeah, and a mate of mine had, he modded a Numark with like an arcade style start stop button, but I don't know where he did it, but he put it here or something and then couldn't actually put a 12-inch record over it. So that the start stop button is one of those subjective things, I guess. I would think
I can do without.
Yeah, I mean, maybe over here, like just a classic 1200 style.
What's handy about it is if you're in a session and you want to get up and go away but keep your sound on, you can just keep it there.
That's right. Whereas this thing, if you've got a sound queued up, you can't. Like, you've got to literally sit there and hold it unless you mod. And they're not an expensive mod, though. I think they're like 15, 20 bucks. But I am not an electrical minded dude. Yeah, it's work, man. You gotta actually put that in.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, we've discussed this, we're not even sure where our ideal place stop button would be. So probably somewhere down here or over here, or maybe here.
Even somewhere up here is where you kind of have it on your
Yeah, that's right, yeah, just nearby when you need it, not like across town.
I'd actually love it here, a little one here.
Yeah, but anyway. Okay, so pitch. The Numark has, I think, 10% pitch, if I'm not mistaken, and it's basically just a knob. So 0 middle lock, plus 10, minus 10 with 5 clicks. Not too bad. The Reloop's 20%, I think.
Not even 100%.
I looked it up,
sure,
I'm pretty sure it is, because we're not salespeople, but yeah, 20%. And there's no gradient, I believe, when I looked at it. It's just plus and minus, so you figure it out. Like, no, that's minus 7%.
What are you going to use it for, though?
Well, that's right. I mean, the real reason would be tone scratching. Like, you're not going to mix with these things.
I've tried to do tone scratching.
Yeah,
it's not. You can't get consistently the same.
Yeah, that's it. So that's kind of the thing. Like a mini slider, maybe, like another fader, or like programmable faders in an ideal world. So there's just 3 faders you can assign it across pitch. I mean, this is crazy talk.
It would be good to be able to do some tone.
Yeah. So so the Omni, however, has 3 pitch modes 3345 in this ultra mode. So that's 50% pitch, which is pretty nuts. Let's see, there's some sound going. Oh, it's in the speaker, isn't it? Can't reach the knob. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. To the 45. So yeah, that's potentially you could do a lot more with it. 50% pitch is insane. Those Numark TTXs had it, and that was interesting. But that was like digital. It had a display and it had a full-size pitch fader.
You're only going to use that for tone play.
Yeah, or some really niche weirdo stuff, in which case you don't necessarily need a portable turntable, I would think.
Nothing with vocals on it.
So that's the pitch differences, 10%, 20%. So they just seem to be getting wider pitch ranges as these generations come out. Now the EQing, there's a tone knob on the Numarks over here. People review those anyway, we're just kind of comparing them between the new one. So basically just minimum, maximum, should demonstrate the sound. No, we shall not.
Sounds hectic.
Yeah.
I think your cable's...
We bumped the cable. Yeah, alright, anyway. It's just simply a tone knob. It's the same thing here. Except the Reloop has 0 position. And the thing with the Omni is it has this EQ mode, so it's basically 3 preset modes. Scratch is just a high pass filter, so it takes the bass out for when you're cutting, and then it's flat just for plain listening, and there's a supposed bass boost mode. We haven't really noticed any real difference with it.
I'm not a super fan of the Scratch one.
We're just cutting on flat and it seems fine, so no major issue. Okay, so power. Numark has an adapter that you have to use. There are mods out that clip into it to power for USB battery bank. I think there's the Reloop's the same. It's
Where's USB-C on this, and I'm
is it
using
C
power
or?
back. I'm pretty sure that's C.
There you go. So USB charging. I mean, that's the future. These little radio mixers charge off USB, like old school B type. These DC adapters, man, they're garbage. Nobody wants them. That's the past.
I can just plug into anything around.
Portable battery back. Yeah, same with this, and it's USB-C natively in the Omni as well. So there's a $50 mod for an internal battery pack. I've noticed that I would have probably bought if I saw it, but
you can get batteries for this.
Just the idea of having everything in one piece and carrying it and not having extra crap hanging off it is very appealing to me. Okay, so that's basically it. The price is, I've looked it up in US dollars just to try and keep it consistent. The stock Numark is $150 US, but you would need to rip out the fader. There's a Jesse Dean fader tonearm combo for $120 US, so that's $270. And if you want the infinity platter, which I would strongly recommend, that's another $100. So that's $370 US, fully modded, except you don't have a start-stop button and you still don't have the power sorted.
It's pretty cheap though, isn't it?
It's reasonable, but I mean, you're looking at that works out to $700 Australian or something in there, I think. The Reloop are $200 US retail in the States, but they're only $280 Australian here, so they must have a deal. They're much cheaper locally. But again, fader tonearm combo, $120 US. You just got the fader. How much was that? Do you remember? Like $50 in the US or something?
Something like that.
50, 60. And there is a solid cuts metal platter available, and that's $120 US, which is a bit of coin. That's really jacking the price up. But I mean, clearly you can cut on it fine. But if you just want fully modded, and I mean the metal platter normally comes out of the box. So the Omni is $335 US. The shipping rates vary on their website. They have listed different countries. We're miles away from Hong Kong. Well, I guess not that far. But Europe's a lot cheaper than Australia to ship to. And the $50 battery pack, so $335, $385. It was $58 US to ship to Australia. So yeah, it ended up being. But when we did the breakdown, it was about $100 cheaper, the Omni versus an equivalently modded Numark or Reloop. And I guess it just comes down to whether you like the design or not. I really like the sleek design of it. It comes in a few colours. Toby loves his Reloop. They're great
the little suitcase kind of design.
And I love my little modded Numark as well. They're all great Tonys. It's just a case of, I think, standing on the shoulders of giants type stuff where Reloop's taken features from here and innovated, and then they've taken those features and innovated.
Put an actual fading.
Yeah, so I think pending any unseen, like I don't know, maybe the thing could blow up tomorrow, but I don't see why it would. I think it's quite soundly made. They put decent parts in where it counts, and just a plasticky body. but it's a great little unit. So all right, let's have a cut.
Let's
see
have a
what
cut.
happens. Yeah.
Tee up the beat.